They called me again. Same dealership. Same question. Same car. That hasn't existed for 3 years. And this time, I didn't hang up. I didn't stay polite. This time, I made sure they would never call me again. If you've ever had someone keep reopening a wound you were trying to heal, or push you past your breaking point, hit like, subscribe, and stick around because this story, it's frustrating, it's painfully real. And the payoff is chef's kiss satisfying. It started with what should have been a milestone moment. May 2023. My first car. I still remember standing there in the dealership, staring at it like it was some kind of trophy. A used 2019 Hyundai. Nothing flashy, but to me, it was independence, freedom, proof I was finally getting my life together. Was it a little overpriced? Did I try to negotiate? Also, yeah, kind of. But every attempt felt like talking to a wall. The salesman had that polished smile, that rehearsed tone. Sticker is sticker. And I remember thinking, okay, maybe this is just how it works now. So I signed. Heart racing. Hands slightly shaking. Driving off that lot felt like I'd just stepped into a new chapter. And then, 4 weeks later, that chapter slammed shut. It was a normal drive home. Late afternoon. Sun dipping just low enough to glare off windshields. The kind of traffic that keeps you alert but not stressed. I was on my street, a busy one. Speed limit, 40. And then, it happened. Car pulled out. Not slowly. Not cautiously. They just went. Right in front of me. There was no time. My brain didn't even fully register what was happening before my foot slammed the brake. Sound. Metal crushing into metal. Glass cracking. That sickening, hollow thud that you feel in your chest more than you hear. Everything stopped. And then, silence. Except for my heartbeat. Loud. Fast. Panic. I remember gripping the steering wheel so tightly my fingers went numb. My entire body was shaking. People came running. Voices blurred together. Are you okay? Don't move. Call 911. And all I could think was, my car. Totaled. For weeks. That's all it lasted. The police report. Clear. 0% my fault. Insurance. Same conclusion. You'd think that would make things easier. Didn't. Because the other driver's insurance company. They fought everything. Every bill. Every claim. Every step forward. It wasn't just paperwork. It was a war of attrition. Phone calls that went nowhere. Emails that took weeks to get responses. Adjusters who suddenly needed more documentation. Meanwhile, I was dealing with whiplash so bad I couldn't sleep properly. Every morning, my neck felt like it had been locked in place overnight. Turning my head became a conscious, painful effort. And on top of that, the financial stress. Because the payments didn't stop. The life expenses didn't pause. And I didn't have a car anymore. That lawsuit dragged on for 2.5 years. 2.5 years of reliving that moment. Every appointment. Every document. Every conversation. And when it finally ended, when I finally won, it didn't feel like a victory. Because the money, it barely covered everything. Loan, attorney fees, medical bills. Just like that. And here's the part that really stings. I couldn't afford another car. Not in this market. Not after everything. So I scraped together what I could. Drained my savings. And bought an old 2011 Honda just to survive. It wasn't reliable. It wasn't comfortable. But it ran. And at that point, that was enough. You'd think the worst part was over. It wasn't. Because that dealership, they never stopped calling. Every 6 months. Like clockwork. Hey. Just checking in. Are you still driving that 2019 Hyundai? Every single. And every single time. I told them. It was totaled. I told you this already. Please take me off your list. Sometimes they sounded apologetic. Sometimes embarrassed. Oh wow, I'm so sorry. We'll make a note of that. But clearly, nobody ever did. Because the calls kept coming. And every time my phone lit up with their number, It was like reopening a wound I had spent years trying to close. And then, this Monday happened. I was already exhausted. Work had been brutal. My weekend, non-existent. I hadn't slept well. I hadn't eaten properly. That thin layer of patience I usually rely on. My phone rang. I didn't check the number. I just answered. And the second I heard that overly cheerful, scripted tone, I knew. Hi. Just wondering if you still have that 2019 Hyundai. Something inside me snapped. I didn't yell. Not at first. Just paused, took a breath, and said, "Well, I have the front bumper." Silence. A long, uncomfortable silence. Oh. Sorry to hear that. What are you driving now? And that's when it all came out. Not polished. Not controlled. Just real. A 2011 Honda. That I had to dump all my savings into just to make drivable again. He tried to pivot. Of course he did. Well, if you'd like to bring that in for an appraisal. That's when I cut him off. Stop. And my voice changed. Steady. Cold. No. The hell that experience put me through left me unable to afford another car. I'm in a worse financial position now than I was before I ever walked into your dealership. I am not interested because I cannot be. Another breath. And I need you to understand something. Every time you call me about that car, you force me to relive that entire situation. Silence again. I've told you multiple times it was totaled. I've asked to be removed from your list. My grip tightened on the phone. So please take me off. I'm done having this conversation. And then, something unexpected happened. The salesman didn't argue. He didn't deflect. He didn't push. He just deflated. I am so sorry. His voice was different now. No script. No sales tone. Just a human. That is the worst luck. I will make sure you are taken off the list this time. I'm really sorry we've been bothering you. And for the first time in 3 years. Felt like someone actually heard me. Hung up. Sat there. Phone still in my hand. And I felt it. That quiet, almost guilty kind of satisfaction. Not explosive. Not dramatic. Just relief. Because for once, I didn't swallow it. I didn't stay polite. I didn't let them brush it off. I made them feel it. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's not about destruction. Sometimes it's just about finally being heard. If this story hit you, if you've ever had someone push you to your breaking point, hit that like button. And tell me in the comments, what's the moment you finally snapped and said, enough? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma always finds a way.